The stock of the day is brought to you by IG, Australia's #1 CFD provider. Trade over 17,000 markets with extended trading hours on key US shares and competitive spreads, all on an award-winning platform. Get started at IG.com.
And the stock of the day is Arcadium Lithium. It's hard to look past now that we have the details of Rio's all-cash offer, which is $5.85 per Arcadium share, which values the company at 9.9 billion Aussie dollars. But this conversation will extend beyond Arcadium Lithium, of course. RBC Capital, for one, says they view the offer as being compelling for Arcadium shareholders. Its price target has been lifted to Rio's offer price of $5.85. But Rio's price target has been reduced to 125 Australian dollars per share by the team at RBC. Now, E&P, so Eastern Partners, says that the lithium market remains relatively small with a few players here in Australia, meaning that the likelihood of additional M&A could increase. It has a positive view on Pilbara and mineral resources. Meantime, Citi expects shareholders to support the Rio offer, saying that without Rio, LTM shareholders would likely have had a bumpy ride. It's lifted its price target to $8.60. So, Arcadium Lithium today, again, up by 38%, with the butterfly effect across the lithium space once again. So I thought it was worthwhile to have a little chat with our guests to find out what they think of Arcadium, but Mark, pretty much a done deal, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And I dare say that there's a lot of shareholders out there that are just breathing a sigh of relief. But look, yeah, whilst RBS says, that it's a compelling offer at the moment, I'll, in about 5 years' time, go back and revisit that call, and I think they will likely be wrong. Obviously, there has been a lot of small players in that lithium sector, and the fact that the big guys are now basically saying, I think a comment from Rio was basically that they can't start this mine, like for what they're paying for it, basically. So there's value for the big players. They're very well seasoned at these assets where, whilst the lithium price can be low, it's a very prevalent commodity, and they're low cost producers. So, they're obviously very well versed at sort of these lower margin operations, and they've got economies of scale, etc. So I think it'll just be continued M&As. So we sold on the initial announcement and switched into Liontown straight away. And even though you've missed out on the 38%, you probably picked up near 20 in Liontown, I would say. But that's obviously, the fear around obviously Liontown, that situation 18 months ago where it got up to $3 and since gone to 70 was like, and how dour all the media and all the social media and the sentiment was on lithium. You didn't want to miss that opportunity just in case it fell through. And obviously there was another really good option there that's in production, super low risk, and is 26-year mine life. One of the best precincts to be involved in with Liontown. So I think you could even get a very high chance of a second takeover, if you're switching and sticking with that lithium, because you're getting into that cheaper price.
Okay, so if you were an Arcadium shareholder, you would hold on because this Rio offer would go through or you would sell, take the profit, and move into Liontown.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Got it. Let's get to David Lane from Ords. What do you think?
Oh, look, it's very positive, and certainly for those who were brave enough to be buying Arcadium a few weeks ago, it looks fantastic. They were at a low of about $3.30. They're now trading at $8.20. The bid is in US dollars, but in Aussie dollar equivalent, it's about $8.60. So they're still trading below that bid price. But as Mark said, I think a lot of investors will be breathing a sigh of relief, because if we go back 12 months ago when Arcadium came out of Allkem and merged with Livent, they were trading up around $11.20. So that bid still isn't as high as they were trading 12 months ago. And I guess it does provide a bit of a confidence boost for lithium in general, because what Rio is saying is that long term, we actually think that there is value in these assets, and that the demand for lithium will improve, and that with Rio's strong balance sheet, they're able to fund a lot of the development of the mines that, as Mark said, Arcadium were struggling to come to the table and put new capital into these assets. So I think long term it makes sense for Rio, and Rio shareholders will get a high quality global asset. They'll be able to leverage off their lower cost of capital and be able to invest in that long term. So I think it makes sense from a Rio shareholder point of view. For those who are shareholders of Arcadium, we have had a buy in the stock, but I think given the recent rally that we've seen today and also earlier in the week, I think I'd be holding it at current prices. As I said, trading at about $8.20. The bid is valued at about $8.60. There is some potential that bid needs to get higher to succeed. So yeah, I'd be holding onto the shares at the moment and seeing how the bid plays out.
Thanks, David. So it is a sell and a hold for our stock of the day.
The stock of the day was brought to you by IG. Trade over 12,000 shares and ETFs, including major tech giants with extended hours on an award-winning platform. Get started at ig.com.